she got serious about things because she cooks all the meals that we eat. So, she started cooking healthier meals, and she started having me buy a lot of water, having me eat a lot of fruit, and I just had to change things. Stop drinking so much soda. I just almost cut soda out completely, because soda is just, it's a lot of empty calories and it doesn't do anything for you, healthy wise. So a lot of that stuff I had to deal with myself. So I don't fat shame other people, and I usually don't make jokes about other people's weight. I don't make jokes about a woman's weight. I think that is off limits. I've always been a lover of big women though, so that's probably where that comes from though. I ain't gonna be dissing a big girl. I'm trying to holler at her, but but with that said, I understand the struggle that people go through with this weight thing, and I've never, wanted to come down on somebody for that, because like I said, I've been there. So I can understand both sides. I can understand people wanting to have pride in the way that they look, even though the way that they look isn't the way society says you should look. Maybe they look unhealthy, or maybe they are unhealthy, but they still should be able to have pride in themselves. But then I understand what Bill Maher is saying too. Like, we doing all this stuff about healthcare, we need to deal with the real problem. He had a bit where he had talked about how the call is coming from inside the house. He said cancer and all these other things we're getting is because of the food we're putting in our body. And he even talked about that in that bit too, like how we're always, like we got this we got a hamburger right now that's a Krispy Kreme donut. Krispy Kreme donut is the buns, and then you got cheese and meat and donut. No one should be eating that. Now, as I sit here and say it, I do remember at one point thinking to myself, I want to try one of those. That's ridiculous. Why are we eating sandwiches where the bread is a donut? Only in America. But that's some of the stuff that, Bill Maher is talking about. We just really take it there in this country, and you wonder why people are dying. You wonder why we got diabetes. You wonder why high blood pressure is the #1 silent killer. And that's the thing, too, about high blood pressure. It's a silent killer. That's why I call it my fat happy days. I was really happy then. I was 265 pounds overweight. I really wasn't sleeping good at night, but I was happy. I was eating what I wanted to, drinking what I wanted to, and I thought I felt great until I didn't one day. And then that's when it all came tumbling down. But actually, it was the best thing that happened to me, because it made me get my life together. It made me lose some weight and really start thinking about my health. I got a 2-year-old son, and it's not a game. And, even when I would date a lot of big girls, a lot of big women, I would always think to myself, man, this girl's got kids. Man, this girl probably should lose some weight, because, just being this big ain't healthy. And, that's the thing, too. I was someone who actually, liked it. But at the same time, I can understand that, the ramifications on your health are too great for you to indulge that. So I even say that with Lizzo. She represents for the big girls. I love Lizzo. I think Lizzo is sexy. She's fresh. But guess what? It's not healthy. And then why is it that you always see like Monique, and then when they get some money or whatever, what they do? They slim down, because now I got some money. I want to live longer, so I'm going to lose some weight. So I can live longer with this money that I got from telling you that it's okay to be fat. So I've seen that somewhere too. So I only say this too, and that's all I said. The only reason I can speak on this is because, hey, look back through my Facebook feed, man. I was 100 pounds bigger than I am now. I know what it's like to be a big person and to be happy with it. But at the end of the day, man, you're not healthy. And if you want to be around, you want to lose some of that weight, man. Get a vegetable in your mouth. Put a fruit in your mouth. All of that. All right, so moving on. Bringing up Lizzo, I want to talk about Lizzo because her album is the bomb. It's great. It's making its moves right now. They said that one song that she's got, No Man on the Minnesota Vikings. Can't remember the name of it. But you hear it all over the radio. They said she had been pushing that song for 2 years. 2 years she's been pushing that joint, trying to get it out like it is now. So kudos to her. What I don't like, though, is she did what some of my brothers call themselves doing. She gonna come out and she gonna say that she only dates white men now. She only want to date white men, no more brothers. Because I guess she was saying brothers don't know how to treat a sister. It gets on my nerves. I don't like it. I don't like it when brothers come out and say that I'm white girls only. I don't like it when sisters come out and say that I'm white men only. Only because of this. Don't do that. Okay? You haven't dated every black man. So you can't sit there and say that black men don't know how to treat a woman. Don't say that. And then when you say that, it disrespects black men like myself. Because I sit here and I think, and I'm like, well, that's not true. I have great respect for women. Some of the most pivotal people in my life are women. My woman, my sister, my mother. These are some of the most important people in my life, and they're women. So I've always had great and deep respect for women. So don't act like that. Don't be like that. Sit there and say that, oh, brothers don't know how to treat a woman. Why? Because you dated some brothers who didn't know how to treat a woman? Because you dated some brothers who had mommy issues? and that they hadn't dealt with, you dealt with some brothers who had issues with women and they hadn't dealt with them, then say that. But don't sit there and say, not only date white men because brothers got, issues with sisters and don't know how to treat a sister. That's what I don't want to hear that. So Lizzo, I love your album, love the music, love what you've done for the big woman community, the BBW, and the SSBBW community. I've always been a fan, but I like what you've done, for the community, elevating their pride. But I don't like when you do that. Don't do that. And in critiquing her, I don't want to leave you out, brothers. Now, some of these brothers are my friends, and they'll probably take issue when I say this, but I get sick of brothers, especially, Trick Daddy and some of these other guys. I think it was, I can't remember his name, so I don't want to say it wrong. I'm going to say it. But, they come out and they say that, they're only dating white women. They're not dating sisters anymore. And I'm like, okay, here's the thing. If you're only going to date white women, then don't talk about sisters anymore. Because they're off your plate. They're no longer a problem of yours. You've thrown them to the wolves. You said you're only dealing with white women, so only talk about white women. Don't talk about sisters anymore. You don't need to. You've washed your hands of them. You said that you're only white women. So that's what I say to that. And like I said, and for the Lizzos out there, how about for everybody? If that's what you get into, just say that. I got plenty of boys, and they have been strictly white women for years. That's all they talk to. But I mean, they don't necessarily sit there and have to sit on a soapbox of how they only talk to women and don't white women and don't talk to sisters no more. That just is what it is. That's their preference. If you ask them, they'll tell you, yeah, my preference is a white woman. But that don't mean that they have to ish all over sisters. They just like, hey, that's just not what does it for me right now. So there you go. There you go. People have preferences. But don't sit there and diss a whole segment of the population because you've had some bad experiences with some of the representatives of that population. Cut that out. We got to stop doing that as people. Okay? With that said, hey, what can I say? We're done. Urban Politics. You see I got my crew in the back. They've been, I guess, you know what I'm saying, but between the panda and the sheep, they ready for me to go. We'll do it again in a minute when I got some more news to bring to you. But thank you for kicking it with your boy. This is brought to you by Winstefano. This right here, best beer I've ever had in my life. I guess the brewery is 256 years old. And guess what? I can taste it. Urban Politics. Where?